My name is Kimberly Fowler, and I'm the owner of YAS Fitness Centers in Venice, California. At the time when I was diagnosed, I just said, no, it's not my time. And I had doctors in here. I was in Houston at the time. That's where I was going to law school, and these were the top people in their field saying, you have 6 months to live. And it's like, no, you're wrong. And I said to the doctor, well, I have this, because at the time I was modeling. That's how I was getting myself through law school. And I said, I have this modeling gig, I've got to go. And he's like going, honey, you're going to die. You forget about the modeling. And I was like, no. And I got a friend of mine, called him up, and I said, just get me out of here. I'm not staying. I just didn't believe him. I didn't believe him. And because of that, I'm still here. I had a climbing accident, which put me in the hospital for about 6 months. And when I came out, I was like, okay, what do you want to do with your life? And I started really thinking about, what do you really love to do? And these were my loves. I love spinning, and I loved yoga, and I, decided I'd just open up a studio and put them both in under one building. Being an ex-lawyer, I research everything, and when I first started, thought about this, I researched, okay, what's going on, I mapped out all the, yoga studios in the areas, all the gyms. I started researching demographics, what my market is, what would make me unique. I looked through, like, what is my target audience, and I made that me. Because I'm the person that I want to attract, and because these were my loves, I know that I'm the type A personality that I wanted to attract. So when I started to do my marketing and think about what would be interesting to me, and I do have that clientele. We have a large female population here. We're probably about 80%, and they're all type A, just crazy, great people. When I was looking for locations, it took me a long time to find this location. I originally was looking in Santa Monica because that's where I was living at the time. And for one reason or another, the locations fell through. And a friend of mine told me to look in Venice, and at the time, Venice gangs, it really didn't have the best reputation. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I did, when I couldn't find a place in Santa Monica, I said, okay, I'm going to drive down Venice. And then I saw this building. It was a disaster. It was tagged. The windows were all broken out. It had been abandoned for 3 years. It was actually the eyesore of Abbot Kinney. I just went, oh my God, that's it. And I left my car in the middle of the road and jumped out, wrote down the broker's number, and the owner of the building at the time was Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. And there was several people that wanted the building for one reason or another, but he chose me over them because it was a great thing for the community. When I first went to open, I had money. I was, a COO of a big company, and so I just, I figured I would just open it on my own. And then the stock market crashed, and it was like, oof, this isn't good. I went from my portfolio went to about nothing, and I had to go out and get financing and figure out, how to raise money for, to open this, because I'd already signed the lease. I had started into construction, and then all of a sudden, no money. And I thought, okay, like, what do you do? And I decided, okay, I'll go get an SBA loan. It takes too long. And I was a brand new entity. The franchisees right now, they're all getting SBA loans because I'm a proven entity right now. I wasn't. This is a brand new business. This is a startup. So what I did is I looked at my projections and what was costing me the most, and the general contractor and the design team, because I had hired a design team, and I said, okay, I'm gonna have these, between those two things, I could save almost $200,000 doing it myself. You know, I'm a lawyer, you know, what do I know about general contracting or designing, but I ended up doing it myself, and I saved that money, and that's basically how I got through. People magazine called me and said, your yoga pants are going to be in, or they were seen on Jennifer Aniston, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be in People magazine. Are you ready? And what are you going to say? No, don't put it in there. You know, I said, okay. You know, and the website had just launched. I mean, we didn't even have our SSL certificate, you know, nothing yet. And I sold like 1,400 pairs of those yoga pants in 1 week, one pant at a time. It was crazy. And I had to swipe the cards, all hand, manual, but you know, it was, and that was the start of the clothing line. When I first decided to franchise, originally I was just going to open up other locations on my own. And then I looked into different growth strategies. Again, I started doing my research, like how companies grow and what's the best growth strategy, you know, for a company. And I could open up one location for what it would cost me to start a franchise. I mean, it basically was money-wise, it was the same. I have over the years received, oh my God, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people emailing me going, can you open up here? Can you open up there? And it's just like, it's like there was a knock, and then there was like a sledgehammer, and then a bulldozer came and knocked the door down and said, you know, please open. And when I first put a little franchise inquiry up on the website, I have over 200 applications and qualified applications for only 15 locations that I'm opening up in California. It's insane. Research it. I mean, I tell that to my franchisees when they're asking me about it. Research franchises. I want you to be absolutely positive this is what you want. Whenever, like with the clothing company, everything I've done, I've researched. It's like franchising. I have every book that was ever written about it. I have Google alerts about franchising. I just, you know, anything you want to do, if you want to open up a business, whatever it is, find out about it. Just become the expert in that field. You know, just read everything, find it on the internet, do research. I mean, I think I'm an information junkie, so I mean, I think that's probably the thing that's lacking with a lot of people today. They just don't study or read, or you know, that would be the one advice I would get. Just study, read it, find somebody. There's so many books out there. People have done everything that you want to do. Read about them. This business has been tremendously rewarding to me because I get so many testimonials. It floors me sometimes. They're amazing, and I get to keep them all and look at them. If I ever got depressed or down, and for 1 second, and I get them daily. I mean, it's just like that I've changed their lives, that I've helped them in so many ways, and you know, to me, this is the most rewarding thing I've ever done, and I only see it getting bigger and bigger and helping more and more people. And so that's, you know, my life, my work is my reward.